Right. Let's try this one again. Tried to do it yesterday, but YouTube was having problems, I think. Seems like I'm... Issues with live streaming and videos and stuff. But hopefully it's fixed now. I'm going to be trying the 7900 XTX or 4K on Alan Wake 2. The absolute destruction of my graphics card. Could be the last time this GPU works, potentially. But I'm willing to sacrifice it for the greater good of benchmarking. Remember, yo! Stream started and scared you. I'm a little bit scary, yeah. It's because I was actually on time. Kevin, yo! Aladdin, yo! Nick Mel, hello. Give me 1 sec, just sorting out some of my settings. Get my OBS and stuff. Let me know what the stream's like. Hopefully it's better than yesterday. I know I couldn't even see the stream yesterday, but it looks like YouTube's alright today. With a bit of luck. Right. So settings-wise, we'll check it out briefly again. We did obviously see this yesterday for a brief second. I'll do 4K with Dell FSR quality, and then everything maxed. Even ray tracing maxed, so it's going to be utterly brutal, but I'll play through for a sec. We do actually have quite a few settings to actually test out that we didn't really get a chance to do yesterday. Look, hello. I was also doing a bit of recording of the that new Arc game in Unreal Engine 5 on my XTX earlier. That game, the performance is not good. It is not good, and that game doesn't seem to have FSR for some reason. Couldn't find it, but I did test it with fluid motion frames. I'll finish editing the video and then I'll upload it. I think. Save today. I didn't boot the game yet. I'm going to just pick up from where we started off yesterday because we didn't even really make much progress, did we? Matthias, yo. 7600 at 1080p, yeah. It's going to be similar on this. It's brutal. So in here we get 20, and I think out here it drops to like 10. Oh. Easy. Easy 10. I mean, it's absolutely brutal. Make it stop. Make it end. Look at that frame time. VRAM is about the same as my 4090, I think, by the looks of it. It was about 15 to 16. I think that probably creeps up a little bit after playing for a couple of hours. I mean, it's low FPS, but it's, you know, it's consistent at this frame rate, you know? We're not getting massive drops, I guess is the consolation. I did notice when I was recording, do you see all this movement in light? You see? You see that? I noticed this the other day when I was recording. Seems to be a... Look, you see it? It's almost like ink spreading. It seems to be a consequence of path tracing. You see it? Oh, damn it. Well, that was loud. Holy... Let me know what the game sounds like, if it's too loud or too quiet. That was super loud for me. So even with these settings, even path, if we drop to ultra performance, It does save it a little bit, but you end up with just really bad image quality. So, I mean, it's still low FPS, but you know, it's somewhat playable. But the graphic quality right now is not good. The ultra performance does make it look particularly bad. What's that up there? I didn't see that before. Oh, there, you can see it on the trees. Has brought our VRAM down a little bit. Can I get out? Can I get out up here if I go? Oh, I actually can get out this way. Do you want to actually see?
We've reached the car, Anderson. How's it going down there?
I think I'm done here.
Check a couple more settings. Benjamin, hello. .48, yeah, a 4080 on this, yeah, it's going to sort of excel at that because of path tracing. Obviously, we have frame generation on NVIDIA cards too, which kind of separates the gap even more. So it's kind of not, it's not really a fair fight, to be honest. It's a shame they didn't add FSR 3 to this game. I mean, it needs it desperately, but so yeah, the graphic quality is not really too good. I will check out. I did want to check out native 4K in this woodland before we leave, just so we can get a rough idea of the FPS. Because I think it's probably not even going to be able to do 60 FPS at 4K native, I doubt. I should imagine that would be a struggle. Without ray tracing, obviously. I mean, we could check out native. I mean, it might break my... Yeah. I mean, it's... This is native 4K. So potential breakage. Turn on FSR 3, the game doesn't have it. I mean, the quality of the image looks really nice, but compared to ultra performance, but obviously not playable. Not playable at all. And I can't even... The frame rate is so low, it wouldn't even let me into the menu. So if we go 4K native, switch off path tracing and everything. See how many frames we get. So this is kind of somewhat playable. Obviously, we wouldn't get 60, but a lot, you know, you completely switch path tracing off. It's okay in a game like this. Even 40 FPS in a game like this is actually not that bad, because it's not a massively fast-paced game. It doesn't really feel that bad. We'll have a little run around, see how stable it is around that. But I mean, it looks pretty good. Our lows look pretty good. Game still looks pretty nice. Still afternoon, no need for a flashlight. Nah, you need it here. Look, it's pitch black. Can't see anything. Plays a lot nicer though. With these settings, there's some guys who... I forget you can stay in the light, can't you? Protect you. And then if we switch FSR quality on from there, we should hopefully see 60, or maybe close. Might not quite be 60, but it might be close. Yeah, just under. That is a somewhat way to play. We will probably play with path tracing on, but set to low. with maybe FSR performance. That seemed like a kind of okayish balance between the two. Gonna wait for them to put out some performance patches. That's not really going to save the game, though. The game actually is optimized quite well. Like, look at my frame time and my lows. They're actually very good. There's actually not much work that needs to be done to performance. If you're referring to why the FPS is so low, it's just path tracing. Like, there's no amount of drivers right now that'll fix that. It's just really hard to run it. You won't be able to do it on AMD cards, full stop, really. They don't have dedicated ray tracing cores, so it's just not... That's never going to happen. No amount of patches are going to fix that. It simply doesn't have the hardware to do it. Your best bet is to just get the game. I would say the game's pretty good to get now, depending on obviously what hardware you have. Like, you're gonna have to just mess around with the settings a lot. Lazy gamer, yo. So we're hitting even up to 70 here with FSR. FSR quality on. Image quality isn't too bad either with it. Don't think AMD has released drivers for this game yet, so it's not optimized. But like I say, AMD won't be able to improve this much. The hardware on these cards just doesn't exist. You can't update drivers for hardware and stuff that doesn't exist. The biggest issue for ray tracing performance on AMD is the cores. They don't have dedicated ray tracing cores, so that's really where the problem starts. You can't patch that. It just doesn't exist. Where nvidia has dedicated ray tracing cores, so that's why it's usually performs better. So pretty nice with just 4K native path tracing off, and then FSR quality for the most part above 60 really. That's probably going to be maybe the most how most people will play it on this GPU. I should imagine to at least have 60. You could potentially, which is probably what I'm going to do. Probably you could run with maybe low ray tracing preset and just maybe drop this down to balanced or something like that. You could probably get away with this. We'll see what the frame rate is like. So even then, 35. Probably maybe want performance. Whereabouts are we? Okay, so we're almost back at the car park. So yeah, I think you probably want performance on. Still won't get 60 with it, but... There's this guy, so yeah, hitting around, kind of roundabouts the 30. Alan Wake works better. Yeah, so I mean, it's the path tracing. That overall, ray tracing and path tracing both work way better on NVIDIA cards. They're more, in that aspect of performance, they are just better cards. Like I say, because of the cores. Helps big time. All console and handheld use AMD. Yeah, but console ray tracing isn't the same as PC. Like, it doesn't have path tracing or anything like this. It's a much more tapered down version of PC ray tracing on console. So that it makes it easier. Let's head back. I've switched that to performance now. Hasn't really increased our FPS much, but
we're taking you back to our field office in Bright Falls. You can freshen up there, and then we'll talk properly.
Game is too cruel, like too violent. Is this with path tracing on right now? We've got it on low right now.
Hey, Mom. Before you see anything, I'm totally fine.
Everything else is max, but we've got FSR performance on.
Logan? No.
Shimra, yo.
What's going on?
I'm totally fine. I slipped, that's all. God, it's not the end of the world.
Put your father on the phone.
Okay. Dad, it's Mom.
Don't worry, hun. Logan slipped in the shower and bumped her head. She has a slight concussion, but I'm keeping an
Reversing computers, hello. You gaming computers, how come you changed?
Could have drowned.
Jesus, David. Why didn't you call?
I tried.
How's Alan Wake? It's good. It's good so far.
Fine.
Tried to stream yesterday, but YouTube was
What
down
about
basically.
You sound stressed.
So I haven't really had a chance to really play since Friday.
Weird case, that's all.
Well, if you need a hint, my years of board game victories tell me Colonel Mustard did it.
I'll keep an eye out for him. Love you, Dave.
Love you too, honey. Want to say bye to Logan?
Just tell her.
Right now I've got path tracing, but it's on low, not high. And we've got FSR and performance right now, so... it's about 30 to 40 FPS currently. And you're seeing the kind of... I think generally anything below balanced on FSR makes the image... It does lose quite a bit of quality, like you can see it here. Yeah, I've got a 4060 Ti2, so we'll check that out.
You'd like us to reach out to, Mr. Wake? You've been gone a long time.
No. They'd be in danger. It'll come for me.
Okay, let's talk about something else. Robert Nightingale. Do you know him? You were both here in 2010.
The Dark Presence got him back then. That's the last time I saw him. 13 years. Fuck me.
On a
Tell us about
3050.
the pages. You had one
Yeah,
that was like a
I should
title.
imagine it's hard.
Return. Is this the name of the story on these pages?
Because you can't even use frame generation, can you, on
The writer's
30?
name has been scratched out pretty violently, but your name can still be made out underneath.
Scratched out. Yeah.
Is this GPU a match for path tracing? No. None of the AMD cards are a match for path tracing.
Did you write these pages, Mr. Wake?
I'm trying to remember. It's a crazy jumble, like
3050 works better than X. No, he's obviously at 1080p. I'm at 4K.
it doesn't make sense.
So no, the 3050 would not be getting 50 FPS at 4K. He's at 1080p probably. Maybe 1440p if you're using ultra performance.
I remember.
No, the game's kind of loud for me. Hang on. This is the XTX, yeah. Power goes down. Yeah, it's because I've got FSR performance on. That's why the power goes down. If I was playing native here, it would be at 350, just capped out, basically. Already tested the... Yeah, I tested the 4090 on Friday. Testing of the finals. I played it already. Played it on Thursday, the finals. Like, try and get some recording more of it. But got this game to play and then got COD this week as well.
It was out of control. I didn't need another mug.
So getting alright frames here. It's those woodlands though. It'd be interesting to see what kind of frame rate we get in the town when we get there, because we had alright frames there before. In the woodland, that's probably the hardest bit. We had 30 to 40 in the woodland. We've got about 70 to 80 here in that room. It really bugs me how the the talking isn't in sync.
Oh man!
Anyone else notice that?
So good to see you, Alan. This must be an exciting time for you. Tell me, does it ever get old?
So does what get old?
Do you see what I mean? Like, their talking is not in sync.
Publishing a new book. Are you okay there, my friend? You look like you've been cooped up in the writer's room for a few too many years.
This is exactly how I feel.
You know, I've waited so long to get my hands on the sequel to Departure. You left us on quite the cliffhanger. We've all been dying to know what "it's not a lake, it's an ocean" really means.
You and me both.
Well, our wait is over. Your new book, Initiation, hits the shelves tomorrow.
Did I finish Spider-Man 2? No, not yet.
Exactly what every reader will be asking. This book is mind-bending. It's so cerebral. I mean, how would you describe it? An auto-fictional thought experiment? A horror story? A postmodern detective story?
Wait. This isn't right. I haven't written anything.
Make sure to drop a like on the stream as well, guys, if you haven't. Let's try and see if we can hit 100 likes by the end of the stream. That'd be awesome. Helps with the algorithm.
I've not written this.
$1,000 for a PC, for a GPU.
Or maybe it was written
Well, pretty much comes down to if you want to use ray tracing or not. I would say. What resolution?
Hey, man, that is spot on. Playing the role here. Pretending the world of the book overlaps our own. That's very meta indeed. You see, Initiation tells the story of a fictional writer named Alan Wake, who is trapped in a nightmare, desperately trying to find the manuscript of a novel.
Is it recommended to have the same branded GPU and sit? No, it doesn't matter. No, I've had all combinations of types of things before, and it's not really made any difference to me.
By visions of a fictional detective he has written. That's right. Alex Casey is in this book.
I think that's a bit of a myth. Like, people a lot of the time say AMD GPU works better with an AMD CPU, but I've never seen it really.
Isn't that what you sign up for with autofiction? No, but seriously.
I think it's a little bit of a myth.
The structure of the
Maybe back in the day, it was maybe a bigger difference, but potentially. But I've never seen it in recent years.
Physically in his writer's room, trapped there, and he projects himself.
At the end of the day, it comes down to how good the CPU or GPU is, as opposed to what it's paired with. Like, you could have a really good GPU with a bad CPU, and it doesn't matter what brand it is. If it's a bad CPU, it'll degrade performance.
I should be taking notes here. This is great stuff.
Notes to that other Alan Wake in that room writing this as we speak? Are we all in your story, Alan?
You don't use ray tracing.
No, I wish you
Depends on really how much of that $1,000 you want to spend. I mean, if you want to save money, just get maybe a 7800 XT. That's going to be good enough. Good enough for that. If you wanted to spend a bit more, then just the XT. They're going to be very good. But obviously, depends how much money you want to spend. You'll have left over from 1,000. XTX probably, I probably wouldn't bother for 1440p personally. You don't need to spend that much. If you're not going to use ray tracing, I don't think you need to spend that much. My XT almost performs on par with my XTX, but it's cheaper, so you know, there's not much in it apart from it'll save you a bit of money. So right, so it seems like we're getting slightly higher frames here, aren't we? 70 FPS, which is better than the Forest. My frame time's looking very, very choppy though. Very choppy. I do just want to check, because I was messing around earlier. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see this. I want to check. It is off. Okay. I would potentially maybe check out on a video fluid motion frames on this, but because the FPS is so low, it's really not going to be very good. I tested it on Ark, the new Ark game, but it's really not too good, to be honest. The motion frames, it barely works because of the movement.
This felt like a bad dream.
When there's high movement, the motion frames just kind of falls apart. This game probably be alright because there's not really tons of movement. Absolutely happy with the next XTX. Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm talking about me personally. If I had to pick between the XT or the XTX for 1440p, I would just keep my XTX and save myself the money. I'm not bothered about it's very. I've got the Red Devil XT and it performs almost on par with my reference model XTX, but for way cheaper. So I would, you know, I'd rather save the money. Not saying you can't play 1440p on the XTX. Like I said, depends Depends how much money you want to spend. Just for me personally, I'd rather just save the money. Can I get through here? Alexandra, yo, this is 4K. I've got FSR performance on with path tracing on low, so we're getting okay-ish FPS in here. It was about 30 to 40 FPS in the forest, so we'll keep playing for a bit and see. I don't know, where have I got to go? I thought maybe there's a way to get through that door. Is there a way I can get through here? I am playing on mouse and keyboard, yeah. Is this better than a 4090? No. I was getting this FPS with the 4090 at 4K with everything maxed in DLSS quality. Like, we're nowhere near that. Damn, what's the code?
Hey! I think I've been locked in!
Where will I find the code?
Anybody?
Fuck. Now I have to find the code myself. Great.
I think it's going to be written down somewhere.
I was a mess. I'd never heard of this talk show or Mr. Door before. None of it felt right. Was I losing my mind? Old Gods of Asgard. That name sounded familiar.
Something on the wall or something. Oh. Is that it? 665. Is there anything else? Any other doors? Any other numbers written down? It's got to be that, hasn't it? We can try it at least. Anything in? Don't see any other numbers. It's got to be that. Don't think path trace. Oh, okay. Yeah, I've got it on low. Yeah, because it doesn't really specify at what point. Does it have to be maxed out high for it to be path tracing? You know, it just says ray tracing preset. I've got the. Oh, okay. Path trace indirect lighting. So technically, yeah, path tracing's off. I guess these two settings determine that. This is just normal ray tracing. So yeah, could be right there. I mean, we could try. I could switch. Should we switch path trace lighting as well on? Should we switch that on low? Put that on low as well. So we've got path tracing on low. Doesn't drop it down too much. Maybe 10 FPS. What did we say it was? 6. Easy. Shelton, yo, did you ask something? I don't see it. I see you say it's that.
What was that? A message? Impossible to say.
ST, thanks for subscribing. Definitely the image quality, though, by putting path tracing on. We're definitely seeing those effects from stuff like Cyberpunk, where it makes the just image really muddied when using upscaling. Obviously, ray reconstruction on nvidia cards fixes that quite a bit. But I'm definitely seeing that a bit on this.
There was something in the studio with me. I had to get out.
Oh no. Hell nah. Is it worth building a new PC just for this game?
Waking up from
Oh,
a
it depends
nightmare,
what
I felt like
depends what PC you already have and how much you love this game. How much you want to play it, I
This
guess.
place felt familiar. A ghost of a memory surfaced about riding here for countless
I'd
days.
personally never build a PC just purely for one game, but
A plot board for mapping out a story. On the index cards, the nightmare that just happened.
obviously it's a bit different for me. The only game I might consider that would be like GTA 6 or something.
But other notes as well.
I'd do anything just for that game, you know?
I had written them.
Or Red Dead Redemption 3.
I couldn't remember what it all meant. The name Scratch filled me with dread. I could trust these words. I had to act on them. You must write to escape.
Plot board. Goals, get back to writing. What? Oh. Cyberpunk 2. You mean from a performance perspective, yeah, but in terms of actual...
But I knew my thoughts.
I wouldn't be that excited for a Cyberpunk 2. Unless they can fix the actual core whole game, I'd be interested, but...
Go deeper and explore the depths of this prison for a way out.
Would I build a PC purely to play Cyberpunk 2? Probably not. I wouldn't be as excited for the actual game, if that makes sense. I was talking about, yeah, more like an excitement for the game as opposed to performance, but... I'd be nowhere as near excited for Cyberpunk 2 as I would be for like GTA or Red Dead. But yeah, I mean, in terms of performance, you probably need like a, you know, 6090 or whatever. I wouldn't buy that just for Cyberpunk. It'd be like, you know, $2,000. I wouldn't do that. Because the game in itself, like the actual core fundamental game, isn't good enough to... you know, it looks great graphically, but the actual game itself I don't think is good enough for it to warrant doing that. Have I got to go back in this?
Welcome back to the show. So, Alan, as the creator of the character, how do you feel about this?
Yeah, sure. And it seems good. Yeah, it's a shame I haven't really been able to play tons of it.
The man sitting right next to you, but I mean, how do you feel about him in the role of Casey? Does he
I assume maybe you're further than this.
He looks exactly like I always imagined Casey to be. It's uncanny.
Thank you. That means so much to me. I'm a huge fan of your books.
So, what's the problem, Alan? Because on more than one occasion, you voiced your reservations about the adaptations.
It's not that. They're their own thing. They've gone with...
Why is the voice out of sync though? That really bugs me.
I feel protective about my stories, and these adaptations... I don't know. I guess I just wish I could have been more involved in making them.
Well, in that case, you won't have seen this either. We have a clip from the new film.
Need to push technologies.
Case. Should we roll it, or do you want to say something first, Sam?
Yeah, the core issue with Cyberpunk is just too buggy. It's way too much of a mess of a game, even regardless of everything else.
This city was an old scar.
Like the actual, like I say, the core game is just a mess.
Rain made it fester.
It's obviously got a lot better with Update 2, but you know, I'm talking about when it first came out. It was just...
I was tired.
It's taken a long time to get it to where it is now.
I was watching the world through a rain-slick window. My own.
Like, if it had released as it was now, that game, it would be a lot
I
different.
was trying to track down a missing writer. My only clue was a table lamp shaped like an angel. The only thing that shed light on this sordid mystery.
That's great. Murder case, Casey. Great job, Sam. Very exciting and very meta. I'm looking forward to seeing more.
Wait, stop. What was that about?
You can play as either one of them. Nice.
About a lamp.
Wait, have I just... What's happened? I'm back where I was. We can go behind here now, though. Did I do this before? Oh, it's this bit. Will that door be open? Nope. Is the code in here? 565, I assume that means. Easy. We couldn't get through here, could we? See, look, I kind of noticed it getting here. Image quality is definitely worse when we put it to path tracing low with FSR performance.
Hello?
Oh no. This reminds me of the caretaker on Control. Oh, is that him there? The janitor. That's the same... Is it the same janitor from Control? It is, isn't it? I think it is. Is it? Same vibes. I'm scared.
Ah, Lorraine! There you are, Tom. Oh, not so much evil that not a bit of good as well.
It is the same guy, isn't it?
Good to see you.
Anyone else played Control before?
Hey, I can't seem to find my way out of here. Can you point me to the exit?
No totta helvetissä. Of course, Tom. The work will instruct its maker. I was gonna get something from the basement for you, but you can get it yourself now. The more cooks, the worse.
I do have the adrenaline beta, yeah, but frame generation, fluid motion frames won't work on this live stream. Because you have to use AMD overlay to show it, and AMD overlay won't work if I'm game capturing through OBS, so it won't work.
What do you want me to get from the basement? And my name's Alan, not Tom.
So I could check it out in the video, but because the FPS is so low, it really wouldn't be very good anyway. Even if we could switch it on, it really wouldn't be very good. I've tried it enough now to know, like, if you haven't got like 40 to 50 FPS before switching it on, it's rubbish. And that's the position would be in here. It's not. It's probably going to be perform quite badly. If it works at all, because I've had lots of issues with movement on it. When there's high movement, this game would be a little better, but I was saying earlier I was trying to do the new Ark game with it, and it's... If anything, in certain areas of the game, I get less frames with fluid motion frames enabled than I do without. It's kind of weird. It is the same janitor, is it? I thought it was. I remember him just creeping me out.
He who mouths about his troubles is the prisoner of his troubles. It's not easy to get out. But don't you worry, Tom. The home is still there.
Like when he's singing or whatever and you can hear him, it's creepy.
I often think about it when I mop the floor and look into the puddle. Water is the memory of the world. Water finds its way.
What, he gave me a key to that door, did he? Let me have a look around. Check the toilets. Very dark in that area. Take the map. We should. I think it's for here. So the map. We got a map. What's the idea? To get out? Is that the idea? To first floor. So that's on there, is it? So that loops me back around, is it? Basement? We check it out. It's not worth path trace. Yeah, especially on AMD cards this gen, it's definitely not. I'm definitely interested to see if they kind of make any changes to hardware to try and do ray tracing better, but from I feel like just AMD aren't so bothered. They feel like not so bothered about the whole ray tracing thing. So it'd be interesting to see what they come with next time, and also whether we get things. Obviously now we've got ray reconstruction from nvidia, like whether we see anything like that from AMD as well.
An old lamp and a shoe.
I mean, we're still kind of waiting on FSR 3 to get into games, you know.
The janitor had left for me?
Joe Blocks, yo.
The lamp felt significant.
Loads of Easter eggs, yeah. Like that janitor guy, yeah. I think half of it. I mean, I've only played Control. I know people say, yeah, Quantum Break. I never played that, though.
I felt a magnetic pull between the lamp and the light overhead. Whoa! When the light jumped into my lamp, the whole room changed. Like something in a dream. Opening a way forward, the lamp was humming. The bulb glowed. It held the
That's
light
cool.
now.
This frame time for me though is just it's like really choppy. I'm not feeling it in the game. Like the game feels alright, but in this, we didn't have that in the forest, did we? But we had it here. Can I do it under any light?
I felt another surge from the lamp. I could use it again. The glow in the lamp went out, shifting the light in the room. The light carved out something new from the darkness.
What's the point in that door? John Paul, yo! Maybe OBS interfering? What do you mean? I'm not. I've got a stream PC, so it's not interfering at all. It wouldn't make sense. It was fine in the forest, so it's the game. How do we get down?
I needed to find another way out.
New drivers, when do they come out? Oh. Well, I thought the game crashed then. This reminds me of the light switching as well on Control. No charges. Maybe if I do the light, will that work? Is there a list of the system? What my PC is in the description.
Find the basement the janitor mentioned.
you think that does anything in this room? Here we go.
The place wants to drown me. I'm losing myself. I have to fight it. I have to remember. The clicker. The light switch. I lost it. But I have
Drivers. Are they...
the lamp the switch was cut from.
Are they stable official drivers though? Because I've got the beta ones currently. Because I can test fluid motion frames. If I have the official beta, the official drivers, I can't have fluid motion frames.
I write to escape. I've tried this many times, written countless stories, forgotten how many. I keep failing, but I must keep trying. I use the story to dive deeper. Every word I write is a step forward on this spiral in the darkness. I dive to the bottom to find the answer, the map, and the key, and the compass. That's combined to form a door leading out. But how do you open a door that's not a door? At the bottom of an ocean, that's not an ocean.
What's happening?
Lake. That's not a lake.
Oh. Oh, I still didn't switch off that. Still didn't switch off the notifications. Forgot about that. Here we go. Here's the jam. Lose on every time. I'm saying that it loops forever. There's road, 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 road. Alright, enough of that. Shoebox, what? Stop doing it. I don't even know if this is the right way. Okay, we've got out.
The payphone was ringing.
But you're seeing the kind of ghosting. You see the ghosting on the smoke next to the truck? You might be able to see that on stream. Phone ringing. That reminds me of Layers of Fear, you know, when the phone's ringing. Hello, Domino's.
Hello?
Alan Wake?
Yes.
Do you know who I am?
No? Who is this?
We'll get to that later. There are spies.
7950X 3D would be comparable in performance to a 14. Depends what game. We talk about just gaming. Depends what game. Obviously in productivity stuff, the 4900K is a lot better. For like rendering and all of this stuff. In gaming, it'll probably vary game to game.
Do I know you? I know you from somewhere.
You've just forgotten again. We're in this together. Don't worry. I got you now. We've been working great.
I'm losing you. Hello? Hello?
Yeah, this isn't Unreal Engine 5, no. This place looks cool. Shame I can't play this bit on, you know, with everything completely maxed, but...
Street Station. I had to go there.
What was that?
Fuck. Okay, don't mind me, just passing through. Shadows stirred like there was someone there, but there was no one. I wanted to keep it that way.
Well, I've got to go subway. How do I look at the map? This is not the map. Ray Rabbit, yo! Okay, we can't go that way. We just got to look for the subway, have we?
The Caldera Street station sign was there, but the entrance was missing. I had to make it appear.
So I need to
Maybe I
get...
could use the lamp to reveal the station entrance.
Need to get under the lamp. Yeah, the kind of style of that reminds me of Control, when you've got to flick the light switch, you know? It reminds me of that quite a lot. How do I do it?
The lamp was dead in my hand. I needed to find a light for it.
There is a light. It's telling me there's a light. There's a map here. No charges. Has it got to be on permanently? Game's too dark. It's just this bit. It's at night time. All the lights off, so... There's a light over there. If it's too dark, I can switch the brightness up, but it's fine earlier. Can I get to that light?
There was a light at the end of the alley ahead.
Is this the way it was on the page?
What the hell? Oh, hey. We met at Door's show.
Alan Wake, the writer. I'm Alex Casey, looking into a murder.
Come on, what is this?
There's a piece of evidence, a manuscript of a novel. You wouldn't know anything about it?
A manuscript? What manuscript? I need to see it.
Rumor had it the manuscript contained the details of the murders. A murder cult was following the story to commit their gruesome acts. Was Wake their leader? Had he written it? How far would he go to create a perfect work of art?
Need to optimize the game.
Yeah,
Yeah, people are getting very hung up on optimization, or I think maybe some people are getting confused between the difference between optimization and actual difficulty running a specific thing. You can't optimize path trace performance, like, it's hard to run. There's no amount of optimization on current GPU stuff that's going to make it go from unplayable to playable. That's not an optimization problem, that's just it can't handle it. You know, there's a difference between being able to optimize stuff that's actually possible on current hardware and actually stuff that just isn't possible on current hardware.
Casey!
Damn it.
Uses software ray tracing without the ray trace. What, when it switched off?
In a dream I had, he was just gonna keep killing me here, loop by loop. You're not gonna get what you want. You think you know. You know.
It's like the equivalent of trying to optimize, tune an engine of like a Vauxhall Corsa to run like a Ferrari. It's not going to happen. Like, the hardware just it's not capable. It's the same thing. You can't optimize a GPU that can't run path tracing. You can't optimize that to then be able to run path tracing. It's not going to happen.
This was an echo of the books I had written for years. Picking up Casey's gun felt like I was assuming the role of the detective.
Okay, I got a gun now.
I needed to get back to the subway station entrance.
There's... No benchy, but they could. Yeah, but I think you're just being a bit pedantic. Like, you're not going to take a 7900 XTX from 10 FPS to 70 FPS by optimization, like, of the game. Like, that's not going to happen. The fundamental issue comes down to the performance of the GPU. I think I've seen people just comment way just insane things on stuff like that, which you're just not going to see. Yeah, I mean, look, what you're saying, though, is editing the fundamental current game to make it run on GPU. That's not really my point, though. I mean, of course, you could lower the effect of ray tracing. It's going to make it easier to run, absolutely, but that's not really what I'm saying. I'm talking about the current performance of it without lowering the effects of ray tracing. Of course, that's going to increase FPS, but that's not. I wouldn't class that as optimization. That's not optimizing a current game. You're just making it less detailed. I mean, anything's going to run better being less detailed. If you see what I mean. Like, optimization for me would be keeping everything the same, but making it better from what it currently is, not making it less is good, I guess. What do I do here? But it's not so much, I understand your point. I'm just talking about, like, I see people commenting stuff online like, you're going to take it from 10 FPS to, you know, 60. I mean, it's not going to happen by just optimizing. Not that alone will do it, you know? If you were going to optimize... Yeah, that's what I'm saying, though. Like, they're not going to go back to the game and change the way, like, ray tracing or path tracing works to make it run. You know, they put in the requirements, what was needed for the game. It's already decided at that point. Like, if they were going to do that, they'd have already done it, you know? Bro, chill. Who, me? I am chill. Why, what's the problem? Can I get out now? Nope. Look up at the door. This door. Look up at the door. Not really sure what door you mean. Look up. Look up at the door.
There was something in here. Light would reveal it. The phrase repeated over and over. The words resonated with meaning. Had I written this?
See, the frame time's kind of fixed here. So there was definitely some weirdness going on when we were in the, like, theatre. What is that what you would call it? Like, backstage of that TV thing. Increase maximum health. Easy. Oh, I didn't realise there was others. Damn. So this is the equivalent of the crime thing. So can I get out of here now? Okay, cool. No? Can I get around them by just running? Ah!
Oh, fuck!
It's blocked.
I could use the light to banish the shadows.
Always follow the arrows. Can I get out there now? What is going on here? What the hell? Ah!
The shadows faded out until they didn't. They tried to stop me. Flashlight, I could fight back.
There we go.
I could use the light to open the subway entrance now.
FPS dipping quite a bit lower here now. 40, 45. Can I do this light now though? I don't think I can. Why does it say I can do the light? Because I can't. Where are we? Is that where we were? That's back in the building, isn't it? Can have a little look around. Do I have any experience buying GPUs from Amazon warehouse deals? No. No, sorry. I do want to be able to like try and save it a bit more frequently because it doesn't really save, does it, until you hit the end of the chapter. Oh no, I'm going to be out of batteries.
I needed to find a way around that fence.
Much difference ray tracing and path tracing in what? Terms of performance? I'm British, yeah. British, mate. Wonder what DLSS 4 is going to bring? 500 FPS. There ain't no way I sound American, geese. Oh my god. Oh no, I'm out of batteries. I've got no lot. No. Oh my god. What's going on? This thing won't leave me alone. Oh no. I know that's pointless, but you sound American than I do. Oh my god. Do we think maybe switching back on the light thing? Do we think that'll do it? Wait, I need to have another look at it. Ah. This thing won't leave me alone. Where was it? Oh my god, this thing won't leave me alone. Where was it? Where was the fence? It was over here, wasn't it? Capture the light. We'll have to do that. He doesn't sound Irish. Number 3. Ah. Alright, I'll have to go back to that light then. Want me to tell you how to get around? No. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. You can get light from somewhere else. No! You've ruined the game. You've ruined the whole game for me, right? I'm quitting. I'm joking. Can I get back out, though, if I take this light? That is the question. Oh, this is bad. Can I get out? I can still get out. I'm not here to ruin it. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm not. You're not. What's that video of that guy when he's like, "You're not that guy, pal." That's what, when you said, "Yeah, I'm not that guy." It reminded me of that. You're not that guy, pal. Use that light there. Yeah, I was just checking to see if there was... Thought maybe there was another light. Does that... Now we can get up the station. What's the other light do, though? We can get down. Was that covering a downward thing? You never got this far. No, the first couple of hours are definitely a bit slow. 100%, but... I think if you can kind of get past that, it gets better. Did we, you know what I did want to do? I did want to try and see if we could go, if we go down to 1440p just to see how it goes. Hopefully it doesn't break my stream. So we've got that all on low, and we play 1440p native just to kind of get a rough gauge. So this is actually native. And it's about the same FPS as what we had at 4K with FSR on performance, so... This will probably be doable with FSR. But bearing in mind that's with path tracing on low still, so... Where do we go? Do we want the... Oh, we can save it. New box. Manual save. So yeah, if we then try with FSR, it won't let me do it. Why is that? Why is it grayed out? So we've got it on quality, you can just about push 60 FPS, but that's with everything on low still, path tracing. Look at the janitor.
Hello? Oh. Hey, Alan. You snuck up on me.
Sorry. Have we met?
Memory problems again, huh? Yeah, we've met. Tim Breaker. We've shared notes. Hey, I've made some progress on the map if you want to take a look.
You can see the...
My mystery, man.
Yeah, it's because I went to 1440p. I have to resend the... Resend it.
Who's this mystery man?
Oh, it wouldn't be much of a mystery if I knew.
Is this game CPU heavy? No, not really. I mean, we're at 1440p here using 9%, so...
Warland Door.
Normally, a lot of games are using 30% here.
No. No, that doesn't sound like him. The guy has many disguises, but a talk show host? No. I'll keep looking.
You're making a map.
Trying to. It's hard to map a dream, though. I keep ending up in unexpected places. I find interesting things like those strange markings that react to the light.
Windows 10, yeah. Could I run this decently well? With path tracing, no.
While I poke around, if you find a stash, take anything you need.
I appreciate the help.
Probably a few combination of settings. Maybe you could run it at path tracing with 1080p, but you'd need like performance or ultra performance probably. If you had all ray tracing and everything switched off, then yeah, you could probably run it at 1080p. Maybe DLSS balanced or something like this to get 60 at least, probably something like that. But definitely possible with a few combinations of settings. So yeah, I wonder... This is how brutal path tracing is on AMD cards though. Like, if we actually go... If we set this all high, right? It can't even do it at 1440p. It can't even do 60 at 1440p. At 1440p using FSR quality, so even without... Like, I don't even think this could play at 1080p, which is insane. Look at native with 30 FPS. I think you'd still be under 60 even at 1080p, which is pretty wild for like... I got this GPU for like £1,100, and it can't even do 1080p with path trace. Like, that's quite wild. When you know, like we've always said, I think AMD cards for using settings like this is just a write-off. There's no point. Unless you're happy to use all the FSR, but I think if you have to go below FSR balanced to get any form of reasonable FPS, there's no point because the image quality gets so bad. I'd rather just play with it off, you know. There's an arrow. How'd it get out? How do I... You just gotta look at it, have you? So I think we'd maybe see just under 60. I won't bother dropping to 1080p. There's not really too much point in it. It'll break my stream again. Obviously, you could run this at 1440p with everything maxed. Just with the FSR, though. Even if we do balance, we should be above 60. Or just. You've got chicken curry. Nice. She. Okay, so I'm behind the I'm behind the fence. What's up here? Is that where I... What's up here? Oh. Hello. Right. I'll switch back to what we had though, so we can at least do it at 4K. After seeing this. The light.
Fuck me.
Can I get out now? Whose idea was that? Whose idea was this? Alright. I'll have none of that. Run towards the gate. So even with this here dipping to 50 FPS, so... Oh no, wait. Did I want to do that? Oh, I need to do it, won't I? Will I? Oh, alright.
I needed to find another light to go deeper inside.
Alright, we have to get the other light. Let me switch back to 4K for now. Just for seeing that. I mean, I think even at 1440p with everything path tracing on high, you'd have to maybe run at performance. And even then, we're only just above 60. I mean, you're basically looking at ultra performance still to even run path tracing at 1440p. And that's just can do it. So 1080p. 1080p would probably be still, even with the ultra performance, it's going to be, oh my god, look how bad the image looks though. This is what I mean when I say the balanced or below. Like, look at it. Disgusting. Am I using fluid motion frames? No. There'd be really no point in using it in this. The frame rate is too low already. And it won't work on stream anyway.
The gates to the platform were closed. I had a ticket.
I did have a ticket, didn't I? Yeah, like, look, this just looks horrendous. This is what I mean, though. You just switch path tracing off. Like, there's no point. You end up, obviously, adding path traced light, but you end up ruining the image. You make the image look so bad, there's really no point. Just to be able to run it.
An echo.
But I'll switch back to 4K for now. It might maybe mess my stream up again. But I'll fix it fix it out. Did it mess it up? I'll resend it anyway. Hang on. What did we have the settings on? We had performance, and then we had this set to low, didn't we? And it could just about do that. Even then, still fairly low, but
An FBI agent had come here before me on the trail of a murder cult. He'd gone missing, presumed dead. The cult was leaving me clues to follow, connecting the dots from one murder to the next, inviting me to draw an obscene picture on the city map. Caldera Street Station. The name made me think of the exit wound of a bullet.
I had a flash of inspiration. The ghost of my fictional detective. A story thread I could use in
new
my
plot.
writing. I had a location. I had a story thread. I would put them together. The dark place reacted to my story. The way into the tunnels was no longer blocked.
Now what? Still do notice the image though. Looks not quite as good at performance, definitely still, but it's doable at least at 4K. What happens if I take this light? Okay, that's not gonna happen.
The tracks led into the tunnel. That was my way forward. The blood trail continued deeper into darkness.
Thought we would see CPU creep up quite a bit using like the upscaling and even 1440p, but it doesn't really affect it too much.
Shit. I don't like the sound of that.
And save it again. Take that map. Use the skill points. Don't need to. Don't need them. I hear something walking. Like, look, you see this? How blurry the image is. You see it here. Ah, it's there. Yeah, there is a map, yeah. I don't know where we got to get to. Gotta go up here, I assume. Is that where I came from? Street level, yeah, that's where we came from. Another station, is there? Down here, down there. Ever test AMD CPUs? I don't have an AMD CPU PC. Well, I do, but it's my stream PC. It's too expensive. I don't have the money to build a whole brand new I was looking at doing a 3D build, but I don't have the money. It's too much money to create a whole nother PC right now. Did we come from here?
The tunnels were a maze. The blood trail led me on.
I'm so lost. Can we go in here? So that can be lit up. I'm minted. I wouldn't say. I mean, if I was loaded, I mean, I'd build like 10 computers. Unfortunately,
Another place to use in this story.
that's too many.
I needed to search the tunnels for further visions. Inspiration for the story that would lead me deeper. I had a new idea for a scene.
All right. Press enter. I'm pressing enter. Nothing's happening. Enter. Select the new scene and hit enter. What's the new scene? Select scene on the left. I can't. It won't let me scroll. It won't let me go. Is that there? It won't. Just get out and it won't let me go. It won't let me go. Oh, there we go.
I changed the story. And with that, the dark place changed.
Ever thought to... I haven't really thought about it yet. I don't think the channel's big enough. I'll look into it. Can I take this light?
Bad luck to be on this case. The cult can get you anywhere with that black magic shit. Let the day shift handle it.
The only issue is I have with sponsorships is like
It was a trap. A satanic blood sacrifice.
I'm kind of a little bit
Gets involved with the cult.
hesitant on it because
I heard their leader is this.
as soon as I start getting free stuff, then it'll affect my opinion because I won't want to like tether relationships. Do you know what I mean? Is that like a fair enough? Because I think there are a lot of these massive channels that clearly say certain things based on the fact that they don't want to tarnish getting the free stuff. Does that make sense?
All he found was a fate worse than death.
Like, I buy the cards myself, I own them, I can say whatever I want, do you know what I mean? I wouldn't want to be trapped into a thing like, if people are sending me stuff for free, they give you certain rules of like, you have to run these settings with this and this. It's just like, I don't want it to be like that, do you know what I mean? Like, I want to test everything no matter what. Even if it looks bad, I want to test it. Like, I want to see it. But they're obviously going to give you settings and stuff. I know, like, nvidia do that. You know, with, like, path tracing. And you've got to run it at, like, ultra performance, you know. Of course it's going to look good when you do that. But that's not really... I don't want it to be like that. I want to test everything. And I think That's my only hesitancy of doing that stuff, is like when you start getting stuff like that, you're then a bit more, yeah, biased. Yeah, like you're not. I feel like a lot of the time people aren't 100% honest, but we'll see. I'll look into it. Maybe work with companies that provide stuff in the UK. Like I could probably get something with like scan or overclockers or something, just to say that I buy that stuff from theirs, like advertise them, and maybe they'll send me stuff, you know, and I can then probably still say whatever I want. And if they don't like it, I'll just say, look, I does what I want, you know. I do what I want when I want. In a real world scenario ad. Yeah. Or I can just send them a photo of me doing a front double buy, you know. As soon as they see the size of the biceps, they're going to say, look, you can say whatever you want. We won't say we won't do anything. FSR and quality or it's in performance right now. Did I want to go back here? Wait, they do that. What's that in reference to? Wait, they do that. What's that in reference to? Scanner, a great company. Yeah. Yeah, I just wouldn't want... I wouldn't want there to be any limitations onto anything. Like, if, for example... The thing is with scan and stuff, I think I had a quick look ages ago, and it's more like a commission-based, like, affiliate marketing thing, which I wouldn't really want that. It'd be more of, look, I'll say I'll get my stuff from you if you send me stuff. That kind of deal. I mean, they force you to use their own setting when it's sponsored video. Yeah, that definitely happens. I've seen people do, like, nvidia, like, GeForce RTX, you know, advertisements on stuff, saying they've got the latest 4090, and they're running it at specific settings in, like, Cyberpunk and stuff. Like, I've seen this. You know, because... It makes sense. They're not going to want you to be running it. Imagine if you got it and you started running it 4K native at like 20 FPS. Do you know what I mean? Like, they don't want you to do that. They don't want you to be doing that because it doesn't look, you know, that doesn't look good. So it makes sense from like a business, you know, sales perspective. They're like, please do not run this at 4K native. Which, you know, that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. You know that.
Another echo lingered here. A source of inspiration.
Is this another plot thing? Rain Psyche, I never play a horror game because it scares me, but I watch a streamer of commentary like, thanks, I appreciate it. Don't actually find this game too scary, to be honest. I'd say it was more like a... I'd say it's more like a mystery thriller type game. I wouldn't really say it was a horror game, but... 30 cents had to run Cyberpunk at certain settings with the 4060 XT. Exactly. I wouldn't really want to end up in situations like that because it kind of defeats the point of my channel. My channel's not about trying to make everything look as good as possible. Like, it's just the raw, I get the card and I just test it with it, you know, as much stuff as I can. To see what it actually is like. It's not like a sales pitch, do you know what I mean?
Research can help me, ma'am. What do you know?
There's more than one urban legend about the Cult of the Word. The murder cult used these tunnels for their ritual sacrifices. They say the cult reenacted the murders in Alan Wake's crime books. That Wake was even
we'll see though.
Somehow, under a
I'll look into it a little bit. See, maybe I could get something like that now.
It was disturbing finding myself in the story.
Get some. Well, I mean, if I get some AMD CPUs, then I could maybe sort out a PC. What have I got to do then? Goals. What are the goals? How do I get onto this bit? Locked door. So that's the end, is it? So we found that. Got a new plot story.
I had a new idea, a new story thread. Changing a plot element in a scene without being there was impossible.
Please, we'll try to reconnect. Chat disconnected. What happened? What's YouTube and the stream been like today? Has it been better than yesterday? It seems like it has. I can actually see the stream today, so I figure that it was fixed from yesterday. Restores 5% when you use flashlight. Oh, have we not unlocked these yet? Increases damage dealt by the last bullet. Increases double-barreled. Restores. I feel like we don't even have a double-barreled shotgun. Increases. I'm gonna save some for in case we unlock these. Increases maximum health. Right, shall I take that? Shall I take the light? I'm thinking to take it. I don't think there's anything more down there. Oh, but now we can't get back. Was there anything more down here? Oh, we had this door here, but... Change the plot here. Oh, that's where we came, isn't it? For this. Damn it. Did that change it? I didn't change it, did it? Which one? This one?
I had to be at the scene, to see and understand it, in order to change it.
What does that do then? Here you go, missing plot board. There we go.
My writing was affecting reality. I could imagine this murder cult performing their macabre acts beyond...
You want this GPU?
The cultists laid the Casey novel onto the altar with reverence. Their twisted Bible.
Which model? Look at this. I like the way it loads everything in where that happens. That's kind of stutter free. You'd have thought normally in a lot of games that would stutter a lot. I've got to go back there. Back to the board again. I'm so confused. Like the way this cup, you know, like that. The way it loads in is cool. So now, why does it keep telling me to go back to the plot board though? Go back and have a look. Look at, see like the noise there in the windows. Do you see this on the left? You see that? Is this path traced? We've got it currently on low. It's on low with FSR performance, so it can't do it, no. It, like these settings, we drop down to 30 FPS, and this is on low with FSR performance, so realistically it can't do it really. With it on high at FSR quality we had 10 FPS, so... Even with everything maxed out, path tracing maxed out, with ultra performance, we had about 40 FPS, 30 to 40, so it's still not that great. I don't know where we've got to go now. Your yogurt tub exploded. I'll tell you what slaps. Yogurt with chocolate protein powder mixed. Whew. Honestly, you can put protein powder in anything. Oh, this light. We need to do this, don't we?
The water was gone. The way forward was open.
Get some grapes in there as well. Chocolate protein powder, yogurt, and grapes. Whew. I could eat that all day. I saw this funny, like, I don't know if it was real or not. It was from a company, but they sent a photo. I think it was a 30, it looked like a 3090 Founders Edition, but someone had, like, called up support, and the support had told them to water cool it. And there was a photo of them saying it didn't work. And they had, literally, the 3090 was in a swimming pool. It surely can't be real, but... I was just like, oh my god, just looking at this Founders Edition in the pool, it broke my heart. You know? Because even if someone's done that just for the gag, it's still devastating that they've put it in the pool, you know? That can't be real. Thing is, though, I used to work when I was younger. I used to work at Sky on their like support thing, and there's the craziest things like people do. Like some of it you think can't be real, but it is. Used to have people saying their stuff didn't work, and they haven't even plugged it in. Like, it's not plugged into power, and they're like, it doesn't work. And it's like, well, no, this you haven't plugged it in. So I think the visuals. I think the visuals with ray reconstruction. Wait, what was it? Do I think the visuals make up for performance? I think the visuals with ray reconstruction and all this stuff, although it's a huge performance hit, it's nice to do it at 4K at 70 to 80 FPS or whatever we're on 4090. Like, I think that's nice. I think at 4K native it's kind of less worth it because the game doesn't really run that good at 4K native without path tracing. It's not even 60 FPS. I think that's more of a letdown. Like, you'd want at least 60 doing that. Is it this thing here? Go back. Where are we? This is dead end, is it? What settings do I use right now? 4K. Oh, yeah, the janitor. I've got 4K path tracings on low and FSR performance.
Tim Breaker.
Right now.
In case you don't remember again.
I know, Tim. I'm remembering more now.
It's good to hear, man.
How's your search for Mr. Door going?
It's not great. This dream we're in, putting a lot of roadblocks in my way.
The sketch you have does look like the Door I know. The talk show host.
All I know is the Door has something to do with what's happening to me. And he knows that I know. He's like some sadistic mastermind torturing me.
So you think this is a dream?
I'm not ruling it out. You know, my dreams have always been incredibly vivid. They feel real until the second I wake up. In the dreams, I'm often someone else. A different person with a different name, living a different life in a different world. It's alternate realities, maybe.
Does the visuals look...
But certain things don't change.
For not getting 60... Well, we've got path tracing on low at the moment. I think right now the visuals don't know. It looks significantly worse using performance. Like, the fact we're only just breaking 60 with performance on isn't really great.
I'm just trying to make sense of things. Don't judge me.
I'll trade you walls any day.
On a 4090, yeah, I think it's more level. Definitely. Hard to say because kind of compare it. Not really many games to compare it to in terms of path tracing. Obviously Cyberpunk, but it's a kind of a totally different art style. Obviously, Cyberpunk really suits it because of just the way the lighting is. I think this game does I think this is one of the best looking games, definitely. In like, definitely that forest area looks like insane. When you can play it fully maxed out and everything. Some of the best graphics I've seen, I think. Blown away by this, and also we've got to finish some editing on it. But this new Arc Unreal Engine 5, the graphics on that are nuts. It runs terribly, but yeah, FSR here is kind of, yeah, it's ruining it a bit. But obviously without it, you know, the FPS... Oh, there's a ladder.
The train blocked my way forward, but it was here for a reason. It had a role to play.
Right, is there a light or something? Well,
maybe I had missed something on the plot board.
All right, give me.
New scene to use.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
The story was taking shape.
Have I tried AMD's, oh what, fluid motion frames? Yeah. I've tried it. I'm not really overly impressed by it, to be honest. The FSR 3 in-game, proper in-game implementation is a lot better than the driver level stuff. It is obviously just in beta though still, so...
The plot changes shape the world around me.
You can see this in the performance though. When I'm talking about the visual quality, there's a lot of noise with performance, like you're seeing it all the time.
It could not be opened on this side.
Frame generation. Yeah, the thing is just the frame, the fluid motion frames, the inconsistency is like through the roof. Like, there's just way too many issues, I think, with it. Like, there's issues with obviously the latency, but there's also issues with movement to it as well, and sometimes it gives you worse frames than what you had before you put it on. Like, it's just very hit or miss with games. Some games it doesn't work at all, some it does. It's kind of a little bit messy. Harold Joe, yeah, I think it's a YouTube problem. Seemed like an EU issue in the EU because I couldn't even watch videos last night. I think it's been broken for a couple of days.
Hello? Anyone there? Dead.
These are trying on nvidia who locked it to the yeah, but it's not locked to the 40 series. It's just the others doesn't have the hardware for it. It's not a case of optionally choosing that they locked it. It wasn't really like that. They didn't intentionally lock it to the 40 series. It's new hardware tech, which obviously they've developed in the 40 series, but they can't recall all 30 series and add it. You see what I mean? So I don't think it was necessarily an active decision to do it, but because it's hardware based, they can't add it to older cards. Whereas obviously that's the benefit of FSR, is that it's software based. You can add it to whatever you want. You're not limited by hardware. So I don't necessarily think it was an active decision to just make it for 40. It was just the 30, and anything older doesn't have the hardware for it. The only way to remedy that would be to add it, recall all the old cards, and add it, which obviously is insane. Like, they're never going to do that. It would probably break the cards, you know?
It was locked from the other side.
How do I, like, communicate with this thing? What do I do? Gonna play more finals. I'll probably do some videos on it, but tomorrow's RoboCop or this, probably.
It could not be opened on the side.
It does drop a lot of frames with movement. Yeah, that's half of the main issue. For some reason, when you move around loads, you just actually have worse FPS than before you even switch motion frames on. Which is obviously a big problem. Frame generation as a whole was soft? No, it uses some specific thing off the GPUs. So you're just basically limited to 40. Like, for example, ray reconstruction. DLSS you're not. That's why it has it on 30 as well. Ray reconstruction is the same. You can obviously use that on 30 series because it doesn't require. I don't know if it's specific cores. I forget what the terminology is. It's something the 40 series has that the 30 doesn't, and that's what you need for frame generation. So that's pretty much what the issue is. Because as you've seen, like I say, with ray reconstruction, you can use that on older GPUs because you're not limited by hardware. So I don't think it was an active decision to do that. It's just how it's worked out because of the hardware. On the second, yeah, but I think there's early access. I'll have to check. I thought there was early access, but so I don't seem.
Locked from the other side.
How do I do these things? Oh, okay.
This is where the history of
Absolutely took me a while to get that.
The cultists tracked down the torchbearers living in the tunnels. They locked the poor folks up in a derailed.
I don't know. I have to check. People are saying that it's early access tomorrow, so I'm not sure.
Charming.
It turns into a bit of a ghost story after that. They say the dark smoke from the fire still roams the tunnels searching for new victims to devour.
There are no happy endings in this city.
The story thread felt important. I could use it in one of the scenes I'd found. I had a new beat for the story.
I think they did a massive update on the RoboCop demo, didn't they?
A twisted story.
To fix it.
But it worked. The subway car had become a burnt husk. I could get through it now.
Hell no. Get ready. Get ready for jump scare.
None of this was real. It was
yeah, no, I'm not sure though. I'll have to look. If you have to spend loads of money to get like the deluxe edition to play it early, I probably will just wait a couple of days. It's not that far off, is it? Because I didn't even get it yet. It's not really massively early access. The only thing is COD comes out on the 2nd as well. The whole campaign comes out. So I want to play that as well. Wait, hang on, hang on. There was another way here.
Come on!
How do I... Okay. Is this easy difficulty? I've got no idea. Which way do I want to go? Why can't I pick that up? Pick it up.
My path was blocked. I had to find a way through. The lights would help.
There's a lot of saves on this bit. Just overwrite this. Best mid-range. I think it's going to depends on what settings you're going to use. Like, obviously AMD for ray tracing isn't really good value, but AMD for just like without ray tracing is better value. I think it's going to depend. Definitely going to be the 7800 XT or the 7900 XT for value. But obviously with ray tracing, then that value's kind of diminished a bit. So, massively depends. Can play it from tomorrow, can you? I'll have to have a look. Because if it means you have to spend loads on it, I might reconsider, but I don't really want to spend loads on it because it's not coming out that far off anyway. You know, I could just wait, what is it, like 3 or 4 days and just, you know, it's not. I'll see what the price difference is. Ballon d'Or. Ade Pramani, hello. Who's even in the running? I don't even know.
The echoing hall had a story to tell.
New scene.
I had found another compelling location to use.
Steam says different. Steam normally doesn't take into account like pre-early access. If you're referring to the countdown, Steam normally doesn't include early access in the countdown. I'm not quite sure how to...
The hall had changed into the murder cult's hideout.
Something here that made him run scared. Whether the summoning ritual had been a bona fide supernatural...
Ray tracing's not a priority on mid-range cards, it's more meant for high. Not necessarily. I mean, pretty much most Nvidia cards, especially from the latest gen, you can run ray tracing at any one of the cards in their respective resolutions. Especially with frame generation. I mean, you could run ray tracing on every single Nvidia GPU that's just come out, 40 series wise.
The plot element I found would drive the story forward.
This is the ritual to lead you on. Your friends will meet you when you're gone.
I'm scared. Do I run? Am I finding the game so far? I really like it. It's really good, and also that fact that this is a kind of cheaper game than normal. It was £40 here, brand new, so that's significantly cheaper than a lot of stuff. A lot of, you know, brand new games. Normally they're a lot more expensive than that. Do I need this? Where's the way out? No!
Shit!
Okay, now I definitely can't get out. Now I'm stuck on the train. How do we do this then? Is there a way out through here? Got to go back around the train, I think, maybe. Go back. We were here before, weren't we? Hell no. Ah, okay, that door was locked, wasn't it? Here we go. Make sure to drop a like on the stream, guys, if you haven't. We're 22 likes off 100. You should surely be able to hit 100 before the end of the stream. With a bit of luck. What do we do? End of the line? Where are we? Oh god. Run! Why is he running like that? He's running like he's gone for a light stroll. Oh dear, what have I done?
I couldn't hear the dark presence. It was gone.
He's running like he's running through like a field of daisies. Go back to the tunnel. I don't want to go. I don't want to go down the tunnel. There's nothing left of that train. Where were we? Is it that? Is it that? Yeah.
I could get through.
Light jog. Light jog will get me out of this problem. What is it? I didn't even see what it was. Dark presence.
I'd seen it before.
Oh god.
Now. Was always
Scared the life out of me.
Hunting me.
Claustrophobia central. Oh hell no, what is that? Nope. This is like that scene from Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings 1 where they're running through the mines. And you just hear that huge big hall and you can see them coming down from the ceiling. Okay, there, we're back at the...
I had found the murder site.
Back at the
Somehow
start.
The victim's heart was the key.
This heart's been passed around a little bit, isn't it?
Something had shifted. I felt an overwhelming closeness to home. An FBI agent? Who are you?
What is this? Who are you?
She can hear me.
I'm Saga Anderson, FBI.
This is Alan Wake.
Help me, Obi-Wan.
Trapped here. The dark place.
You're my only hope.
Under Cauldron Lake.
Cauldron Lake.
I'm trying to escape. I'm making progress, but I'm in danger. The dark presence. Help me. Please, help me. I could sense it. I was closer to home. Had the woman in the vision helped me somehow? Something had changed. Outside. Parliament Tower. Where I'd lived with Alice. It was out there. Waiting for me.
He's stuck in the upside down. Oh. Here we go. Yeah. This is the same song as last time. Shelton, see you later. See me anywhere. This song will see you out, Shelton. This song reminds me of what's that famous 90s song? Is it by Portishead? It's like an absolute banger. I forget what it's called. Someone will know. Glory Box, that's it, yeah. What a tune. I'm so tired.
Who was writing this poem? Me? No.
Give me a reason. There's a performance on that of that song on Jules Holland.
The murder site, I'd felt it.
Back in the 90s, that gives me chills, that.
A meaning. The violent emotion of the act. Like a cloud of wrath.
Portishead, yeah.
Dead eyes of the victim staring at something you couldn't see. And yet, making you aware of it. Something that's soaked into this place on a molecular level. Overlapping with your meaningless existence.
Jules Holland? I think so, isn't he? He's always doing that New Year's Eve thing. I used to... What is it he used to have? Ah, that show. Where you just have all the bands playing. What is it called? Later with Jules Holland or something. I used to love watching that. I don't think that's going anymore though, is it? Right, so I think I can leave this place now.
The station had changed. I'm closer now. Parliament Tower. Our home in New York. Was I really this close to being home? Going up to our apartment? Would I be home?
What's the which one's the apartment?
Was this just an echo of the real thing?
That one.
Even then, the murder.
He's been doing that since. Yeah.
Step closer to escape.
That's what I'm saying though. Like, I don't know what year that was, but that was in the 90s. Probably early 90s, wasn't it? Like 95 or something. And it used to definitely be on when I was a kid because I used to watch it all the time. It used to be on a Thursday night, I think, did it?
Writer. Maybe he was a victim. The cult, using his words. Or maybe he...
This looks like Empire State Building. Did I not listen to the thing?
He was a victim. Writer. Maybe he was a victim. The cult, using his words. Or maybe he was...
Any stutters or frame spikes? Yeah. It's been alright, Jeevan. We had that area where we were backstage of that TV thing. We had this weird frame time on this card today, but everywhere else it's been fine.
Was Alice here? In the story?
It just looked really choppy. It wasn't stuttering, but the frame time was just like up, down, up, down, up, down like this. But the game didn't feel different. It was just that specific area for some reason. Nope.
Alice's photo equipment. Set to go off when the door opens.
I can't see anything. What we got to do? There's a door.
Get out! Leave me alone! Alice! Alice!
Alice, I'm tripping.
Alice. This is a photo of Scratch. How did Alice get this? Is he stalking her? This is the door to my study, where I wrote my books. This symbol wasn't here before.
It's a big place. We got a library.
Alice's video camera. No memory card inside.
Where's the memory card gonna be? Video art dog on the screens. Hey.
Alice's memory card.
What we got here? Cake, bit of bread. Whack it in.
When I was younger, photography was everything to me. I moved to New York thinking I'd make it as an artist. And then I met Alan. We had a good thing. We were both dedicated by our creative ambitions. The only difference was that Alan's work made money. He brought me work when he could. I took his promo shots, created covers for his books. I'm I'm sure he forced his publisher into it. I was
Max
taking
Payne.
photos
I did want to. I never played that. I did want to try and play that as well.
photos.
If they do a remaster, I'll play that.
And that nod at me. Things got complicated sometimes, but that's life, right? We loved each other. Then Alan
New Threadripper based systems or I think it was like James was saying, they're not really a gaming thing. It probably wouldn't really improve that much.
I set up a trip to see a doctor in
Those
Washington.
like Threadrippers are more for like workload stuff.
We got there. We argued.
Like the thing it's targeted for is not gamers. I mean, it's like $4,000 to £5,000, isn't it? Dollars.
Easy for people to think it was my fault. Hell, I do too sometimes. About 6 years ago, I started
Is that Beamer?
typewriter
What's the Beamer?
clacking, voices. Alan was back, haunting me.
You mean the torch?
Then it got violent. It was Alan. And yet, it was a monster. He always did have
Oh, it looks like it's a there is light, but it's probably just a texture on the thing, isn't it?
I set up cameras around the apartment.
There is some light though.
Motion sensors and flashes. Now, when the monster comes, I turn it into art.
It does look like.
My nightmares caught on film.
Thing is though, it looks like it ends. You see?
This is the focus of my new
It like ends halfway. Do you see what I mean?
to show people
That the light ends halfway before it even gets to the screen. Do you see what I mean? Do you see what I mean? Like here, you don't see it at all.
I'm calling this exhibit the dark place.
Alice. Scratch was terrorizing her. Why?
Block the light. Yeah, but then when I move away, it disappears. Do you see? It is there. It's just very hard to see. I think it is. It's like here. When I look here, you can't see it at all. Cereal's £4.50. I haven't eaten cereal in like 10 years, probably. Mate, porridge.
Room and wrote a story.
All about the porridge.
Initiation.
It's cheap as well.
Myself through the dark place to look for a way out.
It's all about the porridge and beans and rice, that's it.
The story had brought me here, brought me nowhere. Looped me back. I was writing the story. And in the story, I now stepped into the writer's room. But there was no one here.
5,000 calories a day off beans and rice and porridge. Easy. Oh my god. These live action scenes are quite cool. It's like a... oh my god. It's like a movie within itself. We're gonna get another song. Oh my god, we're smashing through it. Get Porter's head on. so tired of them. I do with this bow and arrow. It's another way. The other girls to play. It's actually not that far off. Goldilocks stuff. Porridge and protein powder, that's what you need. 5 kilogram bag of protein. Oof. You're done, mate. Absolutely done. You'll have arms the size of the Hulk before you know it.
Okay, let's recap what you've told us so far, Alan. For the past 13 years, you've been trapped in a nightmare dimension called the Dark Place. It's
So we've come back now to here.
New York, and can be reached from the bottom of cold.
So he seemed to get out of the lake.
Under the lake. And after all this time, you've managed to get out.
Yeah.
But so has your evil doppelganger. Mr. Scratch? Or is it the Dark Presence?
Both. It's interchangeable. He's Scratch when he looks like me, but he can change into this other form.
And Scratch, the Dark Presence, wants to rewrite the world in his own image.
Which would be in your image, as he looks just like you.
And turn the world into a fucking nightmare.
During Deerfest.
Not for consumers, what, 4090? Thing is, though,
You got out of the Dark Place.
take an iPhone. An iPhone would be considered a consumer product, right? It's not much different in price.
Changing reality, taking over people,
Like, for the big iPhone plus the latest iPhone, it's closer to $1.5 grand, isn't it? For the biggest model with the biggest hard drive. So if you're arguing about it on price, it's not really that far off that, is it?
But last time
This will be back in 2010.
Yes, last time it didn't happen all at once. The story came true bit by bit as it unfolded. And that
It has path tracing on iPhones now.
I stopped it before it got the ending it wanted. Before it broke free. Based on that, there's still time.
Which brings us to your magical light switch.
The clicker. Magical doesn't quite cover it. Scratch wants it to bring about his ending. That can't happen. If I can get the clicker, I can send him back to the Dark Place, make all this shit go away. Look, I know it's batshit crazy.
Phones are rarely purchased with a utility purpose. What do you mean?
I'm not sure how much I can trust. It's like a half-forgotten dream.
With a GPU, you're going to think about what work.
Alan.
Yeah, but I mean, a phone, mobile phone.
Shit crazy in the past 24 hours.
A lot of people use phones for work and stuff.
Why am I? Why are we?
Like, people have work phones and stuff. I need my phone to tether from for my laptop, so I guess that's some form of utility, isn't it?
In the Dark Place. I think you helped me reach out and escape somehow.
It definitely has some use of a mobile phone. I would disagree. There are definitely some uses of it.
To hurt you. We are all in
Just gonna with a toy. Yeah, but I mean, if you're saying that about phones, you could say that about GPUs as well. You don't need a GPU, do you? Like, you're just gaming on it. You could use it in integrated graphics and just work, you know, use it for work. You know?
It's insane.
Like, my 4090 is a toy.
So much of it.
In theory.
Have you ever heard of the cult of the tree?
Creepy bunch. In the habit of wearing deer masks, performing murder rituals, victims turning into monsters possessed by darkness. Possibly inspired.
Depends what the use case is. I think for a lot of people, both are true. 4090 is a toy for a lot of people, but it's also useful for a lot of people as much as like a phone is. For a lot of people, it's just like a nice thing to have, but for some people, they need it for work or whatever. They use it for other things.
If the cult has the clicker.
Same as anything, though, really. A laptop could be the same thing. You could just game on a laptop. I mean, that's a toy, isn't it?
They even have the clicker.
You know, but some people work from it.
Working for scratch. I don't remember. It's all confused.
Alan, if I'm gonna act on this information, you need to be honest with me.
Yeah, of course.
Is he confused? Or is he hiding something?
Price to performance ratio. Yeah, but the thing is with the GPU, the price to performance is way out of whack because just the GPU alone, you have to spend way more than that for it to be actually useful. With a phone, it works from that straight out of the bat. You know, just buying a GPU is not, you can't do anything with that. The utility of a laptop is mostly mobility. Well, you could say the same thing about a mobile phone. Like, back in the day when you had house phones, there was no mobility. I couldn't call my friends from anywhere, could I? I'd have to go home, ring them up from the landline. What's the case? Yeah, but the thing is, though, is you would have to spend a certain amount. I agree to just call people. You technically wouldn't need to spend that amount. But say, for example, I need Slack for work on my phone. There are a lot of phones, unless you spend a specific amount of money, there's a lot of phones out there that don't have apps or app store, so therefore you couldn't use something like that. So there's definitely, I disagree with the sentiment there's no utility there. There definitely is some decision around which phone you need to get, because there are a lot of phones where there's no app store. And I mean, I couldn't use that.
This clicker seems like a good place to
So I'd have to spend a specific amount of money to get a phone that I can actually use for work stuff. Like, there's no way I'd ever spend that amount on a brand new iPhone, no way, but... And a 4090 is the same principle, though. I don't need that. I could have got a 4070 or something. That would have, you know, played 1440p. That would have done me fine. Performance of a phone. Well, like I was saying, though, if you... Not being able to use the App Store would be a relevant performance-related thing.
The pages we've been finding are from a horror story called Return, written by Alan Wake. And the contents of this book are coming true. Why couldn't it have been a romance?
You would never... yeah, but I mean, there's definitely cases people would be making decisions based on that. Just because you wouldn't doesn't mean everyone else isn't. I was saying more of just this whole argument, people being outraged of the price of things, but it's nothing new, really. People are so outraged by the price of the 4090, but it's like, what? I find it hard to believe people are still surprised. Like, there was not, like, do people not remember how expensive the 3090 and 3090 Ti were? Why are they so shocked by the 4090 price? Of course it's going to be more expensive. It does over double the performance. Like, it doubles my 3090 Ti performance, and my 3090 Ti was like $1.5 grand when I bought that. So it's effectively the same price, but it doubles the performance. But I think people seem to forget a little bit how expensive those GPUs were. Like, when you look at it now, that's an absolute rip-off.
Doesn't make sense.
But I don't know. It just still surprises me because people, like, I don't agree with it, but people seem surprised by, like, consumerism and capitalism. That is literally what it is, and it's been like that for a long time. Like, it's not a new thing. But people seem so surprised by it, which I just found odd, really. People are so surprised that the top tier GPU is so expensive, but it's like, well, yeah, I mean, I'd prefer it was cheaper, but right now, especially with inflation and stuff, I mean, there's a lot of things I wish were cheaper. Where do these things go?
Nope.
Does this not go on here? Why? Just guess it. Yeah, I mean, the prices are steep, but I don't see anything right now in the PC space that is not brand new and overpriced. Everything is. Every single GPU is, in my opinion. But people just aim most of their stuff at the 4090 for some reason.
Back at Witch's Ladle.
Like, every single GPU from AMD and nvidia right now, brand new, is way overpriced.
Same substance Nightingale had left at the morgue. There was something hidden under it. She strained to see. The opposite of sunspots in her eyes. Blacker than black. Suddenly a change. The light reacted to the substance. A feedback loop, surging up her arm. Saga squeezed the flashlight, willing it to penetrate the dark matter. Burn it away.
Wake said the cult has the clicker. How does he know?
The writer is the reader. The next chapter. The next chapter.
Getting cheaper for the same performance of last year.
Keep the pages safe.
This idea, though, that
Wake is
I don't really know where it comes from, but the view that people think they can pay less for something that's better, like, I never understood that whatsoever.
Wake has a double. Mr. Scratch.
Like, why would that be a thing?
Where is he now?
A cloud of wrath wears my face.
You bring out stuff that's more efficient, even power-wise. Why would that be cheaper than previous?
Scratch is here.
Even if, for example, like for like FPS was the same,
He's hunting.
the 40 series just by itself is way more power efficient. Even long term, that's saving you money, in theory. I bet people think that should be cheaper than the previous. It doesn't make no sense.
Don't wake up the dreamer if your life is a dream. I swam to the shore.
In my opinion, at least, like, I've never ever thought that's just how, like, the world just doesn't work like that. It never has. So I don't understand why people think that it does work like that. Because when have we ever seen that? Never seen that with anything. supposed to be more affordable. Yeah, I would agree over time with something that stays the same level of performance. Effectively, it would become more affordable, but when we're talking about 4090s, they're like game-changing tech. It's like peak of tech. That's not going to become affordable ever, because that's the same across anything. Peak technology of stuff is never affordable. That's why, you know, they can't... It's built on a model that it has to be expensive, otherwise... eventually that level of performance will become more affordable in lower-end cards. Like, that's how generally it works. But the actual outliers at the top will never be affordable.
Wake's hiding.
Same with anything.
Pages.
You disagree. But when has first release of top-end technology ever been affordable for everyone off the rip? Straight away, like, it doesn't work like that. People just don't like the greed of the company. Yeah, but I mean, companies have been greedy for hundreds of years. Like, what's new? I don't know why people are so offended by it now. It doesn't make any sense.
Okay, Mr. Wake.
Companies have been greedy since the beginning of time. Since they've ever existed. Like, that's nothing new, is it? I don't know why people are so offended by it. It's not like a brand new business model.
This is our job.
Okay. Here. This is all I have.
Like, if we'd just learned that companies are doing bad practices to rip people off, then yeah, okay, it makes sense to be outraged, but it's literally happened for hundreds of years, probably. There were, like, people getting ripped off in the 1800s by companies. Think of the snake, the Ponzi guy selling snake oil or whatever he was doing. You know, you could be outraged by that. He was doing that ages ago.
Wake has more information. I need to keep questioning him.
Inside the trailer, at the outskirts of Watery, Saga had seen...
I know, I think you're misunderstanding what I'm saying, though. I'm not... I think every single GPU brand new right now is way overpriced, should all come down in price. That's not what I'm saying, but I don't feel personally attacked by the fact that companies are greedy, because that's just the way it is. Like, you know, it's, like I say, it's been like that forever. There's nothing we can do about that, you know. I can complain about it as much as I want, but it's not going to change anything. Look at this in the mirror, though. Look how much noise is going on. How do I get out of here?
You are a handsome dear.
If people accept that, then they would keep doing it. I disagree to a certain extent. I mean, with nvidia, it doesn't matter. Like, all of gamers could not buy an nvidia GPU tomorrow, and nvidia is still fine. Like, it makes no difference. So I think it's irrelevant. There's a lot of companies out there that would be more affected, but so many companies now, especially tech companies, are diversified a lot that it wouldn't destroy the company. Like, gaming for nvidia now is not even their biggest thing, profit-wise. Like, they would easily survive that. It'd be like Amazon. If you said, well, I won't buy anything from Amazon anymore, and everyone did it, they would still survive, probably, because of AWS. That makes them more money now anyway. So, like, I as much as I agree that seems like good sentiment, it doesn't, I don't think it would work. It just doesn't work. If you have, we're talking about trillion-dollar valued companies. Fair enough on small market cap companies probably, but trillion-dollar companies, it's not gonna bring it down. Same with Intel. You could say, I'll never buy an Intel CPU again. They still probably would be fine. They sell so much to, like, you know, they have so many partnerships with big stuff that they make more money from anyway. It probably wouldn't really... Directly, it would obviously affect their balance sheets, but they would still survive, probably. Like, they make way more money from other stuff.
She drew her weapon.
All of the consumer and work-related partnership stuff that they sell PCs through, like, is way bigger than gaming. Can I get out of here yet? Yeah, I mean, their market cap, if they released a report tomorrow to say they've lost all their customers, like consumer customers, yeah, of course, that would affect because people would just crash sell their stock. But their actual margin on profits from a company perspective, yeah, at first there'd be some sort of flash sale of stuff, but ultimately their balance sheets and stuff, after it settles down, they'll still just operate as a company, and it'll just end up balancing out to where it was, you know, it's not going to end it. Is what I'm saying. Like, especially for nvidia, their gaming stuff now is like minuscule compared to all their other stuff. Like, they're not reliant on gamers buying GPUs anymore. Like. Intel consumer market is but exactly, that's my point. Like, Intel owns 70% of the CPU market, and it's probably like, I don't know what percentage, but we're talking a small percentage of that is gaming people buying it to build their own PCs. So like, they could lose that and still own basically most of the market. It wouldn't make any difference. Like, sure, their stock price probably fluctuates the day after that happens, but overall they still survive it. What do I do here?
Scratch looks just like Wake. Why?
Don't wake up the dreamer if your life is a dream. I swam to the shore, but the water is rising.
Wake and Scratch are clearly connected. Maybe Scratch got out because Wake did. Or vice versa.
I got blackout. What's that?
Wake has a double. Mr. Scratch. Where is he now?
A cloud of wrath wears my face. The dark place in your place. Scratching out my body of work.
I'm not spending thousands of dollars for a GPU that gets 20-something FPS in a game. Don't then. You don't have to. No one's forcing you to do that.
Wake said the cult has the clicker. How does he know?
The writer is the reader. The next chapter, the next chapter, the next chapter. Keep the pages safe, the dark shining of the words.
Wake is hiding pages. That's how he knows the cult has the clicker.
How do I get out of here?
Looks just like Wake. Why?
Don't wake up the dreamer if your life is a dream. I swam to the shore, but the water is rising.
Wake and Scratch are clearly connected. Maybe Scratch got out because Wake did. Or vice versa. Wake has a double. Mr. Scratch. Where is he now?
A cloud of wrath wears my face. The dark place in your place. Scratching out my body of work.
Scratch is here. In Washington. He's hunting Wake.
Don't understand the obsession with AI. Nvidia could. Yeah, but you've got to understand that early adopters of things always usually are like at the forefront of those industries, like permanently. And AI is going to be, from a business perspective, think of companies operating. Like, companies are going to be paying for that, like, AI related stuff to be implemented in things. And even for the technologies that we're seeing now, like the frame generation stuff, all of this type of AI related technology stuff for imagery, that potentially, like, there's a huge market, like a huge market. And if you're the first, if you're the leaders in that, I mean, that ends up being a massive thing. It's almost like what Facebook did with the, or Meta, whatever, did with the VR stuff. They're trying to be leaders in that. So if it obviously becomes a worldwide thing, I mean, they'll just be absolutely loaded. Okay, I can get out now. Oh no, wait, what? Oh, I was in the other place. What the hell do I do? Television.
Miss you, kiddo. I'll be home soon.
Don't see the jump being the same. Potentially, but obviously
This mug always cheers me up.
it's a bit of a bigger gap between the two, so they've technically got more time to work on it.
Wake has a double. Mr. Scratch. Where is he now?
A cloud of wrath wears my face. The dark.
Frame generation's AI is garbage. AI is so important for many things. Exactly, yeah, like
Scratch is here. In Washington.
same frame generation could be garbage in your opinion, but that's not what will be used for other things. It's just one form of use of AI. But to actually be the leaders of, like, creating new technologies to help other companies do stuff, you're demonstrating the ability is more the point.
Wake has a double. Mr. Scratch.
Like, companies aren't going to be using frame generation, you know.
A cloud of wrath wears my face. The dark place in your place. Scratching out my body of work.
Scratch is here. In Washington. He's hunting Wake.
AI has a long way to go. Absolutely, yeah, but that's not going to stop companies from moving into those areas. What else can we do here? How do I get out? Anyone actually know how I get out of this? How do I get out? I have to listen to the profiling, I think. Nothing in here. What have I missed? Cases. Oh my god. I missed one. Oh my god.
Has the clicker Wake told me about.
It's gonna let me out now.
They're a part of all this.
Let me
It's
out.
all on the page. The clicker, the cult. Okay, I'll head to Watery and find this trailer. Casey, you stay here and keep an eye on Mr. Wake.
Got it.
No, you need me there.
No dice, pal. This is an FBI investigation, and I don't see a badge on that flannel.
They want to be the next face. Yeah, I kind of look at it in a way of like the dot-com bubble when that all started. So you had all companies like Amazon, Google, all of those were starting. Even like Microsoft in a way, like all these big companies, there was obviously hundreds and hundreds of companies more than them, but they never made it. You know, they never made it through. But in like most cases, leaders of specific sectors always survive in most cases. So like if you have some kind of value or technology that you can provide that other companies can't, they're the ones that always, not always, but like have a higher chance of survival because it's something no one else can provide, you know? So if nvidia has technology in AI that no one else can provide, that's a massive, you know, you're like a leader in that space because you're offering stuff no one else can. You know, companies like that always survive.
Oh, dear diner organic coffee, and let the adventure begin.
And obviously that's why nvidia is moving into that space now, because it doesn't just happen overnight. You know, it could take a long time before they, you know, it takes time. Even like with AI, you have to train it and stuff. Like that could take forever to even get to a level that's big enough. You know, it takes a long time. Same with like the Facebook thing. They do the whole VR stuff. I don't think they're really. I think they're still losing money off of that, aren't they? You know, it could be like 20, 30 years, 40 years, and then all of a sudden it's huge, and then it's a different story. But you have to obviously put in that time and work and investment as well to even get to that point. This looks nice here. I thought we'd be maybe getting slightly higher FPS here, because I know in the village the other day we had quite a bit higher FPS, but I mean we're getting what? Compared to the forest, we've got about 10 FPS more maybe? Have a little look around. Definitely noticing poor. The fact we've got obviously performance on, it's definitely not, the quality's not as good. Don't know actually, where have we got to go? Conversation, new choices. This. Was there someone I could talk to? Maybe I missed it.
I know. What was she even doing out there? And at that time of night?
Pure programming skills being replaced by AI. Yeah, but I mean, this is nothing we haven't seen before. Think about computers in general. Computers have replaced a lot of jobs from people already. You know, we've seen that in the last... Since the 90s. Think of how many jobs, like, are now done by just computers. Look at, like, factories and stuff. Most of it's done by just machines. Not done by humans anymore. It's just that, you know, it just happens. That's what happens. There'll be certain jobs that just humans won't need to do anymore. But, I mean, that's just always been a thing, though.
Why don't I just get rid of everything I'm paying for in that room while I'm at it?
And to be honest with you, I view it probably differently because there's a lot of stuff I do in my job that is very time consuming and not important, and I could have an AI do it. I don't need to worry about it. It's repetitive and unnecessary for a human to do it. In theory, like, it could be way more productive if an AI was just churning it out. It would mean I could actually work on more important things.
That almost makes up for the ineptitude of this place.
I'm glad.
Same with a computer. There's a lot of just repetitive work that humans do that a computer can do quicker. So it makes more sense for that kind of, you know, it is a shame in areas people lose their jobs, but you have to diversify what you do. Like, you have to what's the word? You have to adjust to you know, the way things are. If you're just completely reliant on everything you do to be like that forever, I mean, good luck. Who have I got to talk to here? There's someone I've got to talk to.
You wrote these pages in the dark place. So why are we finding them here?
I think I wrote them. I remember writing an endless amount of pages. When this happened before, the pages were being sent from the dark place to help me. Maybe
Computers exist for over 30. Yeah, no, I'm not saying, I'm just using that as an example. I'm not saying exactly 30 years. It's just an example. Jobs that have been lost in the last 30 years because of computers. I'm not saying computers have only been around for 30 years. Hell, Alan Turing created the what was it called? Turing machine? Is that what it was called, to do the Enigma? I mean, that couldn't be done by a human. They were trying to do it with humans, and obviously it didn't work. That's effectively a computer. So, you know, that replaced humans doing it. This cases thing, it should really tell you more when you've got the case thing. Maybe I'm just not listening. You could be stuck for a while. He remembers writing many pages while in the dark place. What's that? Where have we got to go? I think actually I'll maybe save it. Just didn't save it once I got out of the room, did I? Manual save. It's a shame you can't save. You've only got 3 slots. That seems kind of... Which reality? Oh, damn.
I was back.
C++ exists for 50 years. C++ can ligma.
Dark presence had stopped me.
How do I get back? Can I go back?
I had seen the title page of another manuscript. Return. I didn't remember writing it, but it felt familiar.
Can we just switch between the two?
I had to find it.
How do I switch back?
I would write a new draft of initiation to reach Parliament Tower using another murder site. Scratch was reaching out from the dark place to get Alice. She was out, but still in danger.
Welcome. Our guest tonight is Alan Wake.
I'm back here.
He wanted to do something.
I was back, and I hadn't forgotten. I knew how this worked now.
Right. I'm gonna have to end it there, guys. I need to head off and get food and stuff. Cause it's getting a bit late here. I'll be back on tomorrow. I don't know. I'll check out the Robocop thing. I need to obviously play through some more of this, but I'll maybe get it so we can play tomorrow. Maybe I'll just wait until the 2nd when it comes out. We'll take a look. But yeah, thanks a lot for watching. Bit of a rant about stuff, but no harm. Just a discussion at the end of the day. But yeah, hope you guys have a good evening. I'll catch you tomorrow.